Jordan and Jess have been referred by their medical doctor to see a hospital social worker regarding a traumatic gunshot injury that Jess received. Jess is a 17-year-old Hispanic male accompanied by Jordan, an 18-year-old Caucasian male. Hi guys, my name is Leanne. I'm going to be the hospital social worker. The doctor referred me and wanted me to come in and check in. And what's your name?
My name is Jesse.
Jesse. Nice to meet you, Jesse.
Nice to meet you.
And your name?
Jordan.
Jordan. Nice to meet you, Jordan. So I just wanted to let you know before we started that this conversation is going to be completely confidential. What I tell you isn't going to leave the room, and there's only a couple circumstances in which that will happen. If one of you kind of reveals that you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, then at that time we'd have to get somebody else involved. But it's really just to maintain your safety or somebody else's safety.
I'm a minor, so are you gonna tell my dad? Because I don't want you to tell my dad.
No.
Yeah.
No. We shouldn't have anything to have to talk to your dad about in this situation.
Okay.
So I know that I'm here because Jess, you've been injured. And
Yeah, I got shot.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Well, I mean, physically it hurts, but I'm getting better.
Yeah. That must have been really scary.
Yeah, I even because I was injured, I was sleeping a lot, but now that I'm feeling better, I have a really hard time sleeping, and I also get flashbacks. I can see getting shot. It was your fault, actually.
I already told you. I apologized about that. How many times do you have to throw it in my face? I know it's my fault.
I told you to be quiet and just walk away, but you have to be smart. You open your. It's not even you who's getting shot. I'm getting shot.
I'm sorry. How many times do I have to tell you that?
So Jordan, you were there when this happened?
Yeah, it was my fault that he got shot.
It was your fault, yeah.
Sounds like, Jess, that you're pretty angry about your situation. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. I told him, just walk away, let's just walk away, but no. He started talking, and then I told him, hey, go get the car, and just things went bad,
Jordan, how are you feeling right now?
Very guilty. I feel bad.
You feel guilty.
If anybody should have gotten shot, should have probably been me for opening my mouth. We were walking, and some guys from his neighborhood started calling us names, bullying us, and I couldn't stay quiet. I had to defend myself.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, I told you to be quiet, please. Just be quiet. You were not.
You see what I have to deal with? I already feel bad, and he keeps telling me and blaming me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Jess, he's pretty angry, and you are feeling really guilty about this situation. Have you had a chance?
It keeps going through my mind all the time. I keep replaying that night, how he got shot, and the feelings. I feel bad. Like if anybody should have been in a hospital, but it should have been me.
That must be really hard. And a lot of times when someone suffers a traumatic event like this, there's going to be some symptoms afterwards, symptoms of anger, symptoms of guilt. So what you guys are feeling is actually really normal. And you mentioned that you were having some flashbacks, Jess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's also a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder. Right now, it's very typical. So we want to pay close attention to your symptoms, and that can be something that once you leave the hospital, I'd probably recommend going and continuing to see someone to kind of work through the process to help you get through it. So that way it doesn't carry over. And are you graduating soon?
Yes. The doctor said that I probably will be fine to actually walk the stage, but hopefully.
Well, that's great. So we don't want anything to kind of interfere or interrupt with that process. So I really, maybe I can make some contacts or give you guys some names and just some people you can talk to, either together or individually, whichever you prefer. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think he needs it a lot.
Yeah.
He's having problems with his dad. So a lot of it has to do with our relationship. It's affecting it. So
Yeah. So it's really some outside influences are coming in. And how was your relationship before this?
It was good. I mean, I really appreciate of you being there for me, you know, when I needed you. Even, I know you really messed up, but I really appreciate that you're there for me. And it was really good, you know. It's just a little bit difficult,
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
especially because, you know, we're a couple and we're not being really accepted. And I think that's the whole thing about why he got
Yes.
shot. It was
It
bullying.
has a lot to do with that.
This is bad.
It's not about my dad, okay? You don't even know my dad like that.
Yeah, his dad's very violent.
Um, Well, that's something that we can talk about also, if you'd like, we can move on to that, or do you have any more questions about kind of the situation, the trauma that you experienced at all?
Is it gonna go away?
You know, it should. If you work on it and you really take the time to kind of pay attention to those feelings and pay attention to the symptoms that you're having, it's not gonna go away right away.
Am I gonna have to take some meds? Or what can you do for me so I can feel better mentally, you know?
Yeah, I understand. Well, you know, I'm not the doctor, so about medication and stuff like that, if you're maybe having anxiety or a hard time sleeping, you can talk to your doctor about getting something to kind of help you get through this rough patch. But like I said, I can get a referral for you for some services that you can reach once you're outside of the hospital, and really start getting some individual counseling and some therapy to really deal with this kind of a traumatic event. Okay, guys. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit more about your relationship? How are things going? Jordan, would you like to start?
No, it's been good. It's just his dad is not okay with it. So that's been causing a lot of issues with us.
Jess, your dad isn't accepting of your relationship?
Yeah, our relationship was going pretty good. I mean, I think having a little bit of trouble, pretty much coming out, you know, it's a hard thing. And plus that, and not just my dad, you know, it's not like you really know my dad.
His dad is a typical Mexican macho. Like that's, don't get offended, but that's what he is. And that's the main reason why, you know, we haven't been able to be okay.
Can you explain to me a little bit more what you mean by that?
Well, he's violent. He uses intimidation. Just when he came, he had to come out because his dad found out, and what did he do? He attacked them.
It's really hard for you, Jess.
Yeah, but I mean, my dad, he's just not like that. He's cool, he's chill, he's taking care of me because since my mom died, you know, he's lovable. I know he could be a little bit rude, but that's how we are, you know, Mexicans. That's, you know, culture. But he's lovable. He's really cool. I know he's having a really, really hard time accepting it, but I don't know. It's just hard. It's just really hard. It's not something he really thinks that. And I actually sometimes I think that God is punishing me because, you know, I'm gay, and I grew up knowing that liking girls was good and liking guys was bad, but I just couldn't resist it. You know, it's something. It's in me. It's something that you know.
That has to accept you. My parents know me, and they know about us, and they're accepting of us.
Jordan, how did you grow up? What kind of area and childhood did you have?
Well, I guess my parents are pretty well off. They've been knowing that I've been out. They approve of our relationship. They support me 100%.
Okay. So what I'm hearing here is that you guys are kind of come from two very different backgrounds. You know, Jess has grown up with the Mexican culture. You've grown up in the suburbs. Where you live sounds pretty different, and that seems to be having some impact on your relationship. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Definitely, you can see sometimes the difference. But we're working on it, I think.
That's good.
It's just that sometimes I don't like they can make those comments about my dad. Besides you, he's the only person that I have. You know, it's really hard for me to hear that those things coming from you.
I guess for me, it's really hard to to understand how his dad can be like that. It's really hard because for me, I can't relate. That's what it is. I can't relate to how his dad is reacting, especially when he's reacted physically aggressive towards him, and well, he also intimidated me and threatened me.
How did he do that?
He told me to stay away from him. He wants me to walk away from Jesse's life. So I know my parents would never do such a thing. If they know I'm in love, they would respect my relationship.
Did he hit you?
He shoved me against the wall. So for me, it's really hard because I've seen him be violent and aggressive.
Yeah. Jess, have you not, this is the first time you're hearing about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't want to tell you, but that's why I feel the way I do about his father.
How are you feeling right now, hearing that information?
Well, I'm really confused because things were going really good, you know, even though he didn't really accept the fact that I was gay, but it was kind of going well until, you know, the incident I got shot. But now that he's telling me that encounter with my dad, I don't know what to say. I'm just confused.
That's a really hard thing, both for you, probably very scary. It sounded like to go through that.
It's like,
And disappointing for you, you know, that's really hard. Do you think, is there, there is a group and it's called P-Flag, and it's for family members of lesbian and gay couples and individuals. Do you feel that would be something your father would maybe be open to, going and getting support for that kind of thing, or do you think there might be?
You know, it's going to be really hard. The last time I tried to talk to them about the fact that I was gay, I wanted to tell them that I still love him, that I still was his son. He just ignored the whole thing. So it probably is going to help him.
Okay.
But I just getting him there and be involved in the whole group, it's going to be hard.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the name of the local groups and the website also, so you can look it up and just kind of do it when you're ready to do it, if that sounds okay with you.
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to take a moment and say, you both, it's really, I can tell how much you love each other, and it's angry and the guilt that you're feeling. You're still sitting here, you're working well together, and you're communicating very nicely. And I really just wanted to acknowledge that, and and just your awareness of how you're feeling, and the problems that you're having, and the acceptance of your, sexual orientation. Those are some really great strengths that you both have. I really appreciate it. So, what would you say needs to happen in order to kind of improve your relationship?
Well, it's going to be hard because I'm going to be going away. But see, I'm very confused. I don't know what to do anymore because I don't have the finance. I don't have the money. I mean, everything is covered, but it's going to be hard with that.
I think he can come live with me and my parents. My parents know about us. They accept him, and there's a lot of space in our house. He can come live with us in the meantime before he goes to school.
Jess, how does that sound for you? Does that sound like an option?
Yeah, I think if I was to live with you, I wouldn't feel as alone. And I think just being in an environment where everybody is accepting me, probably positive, I can probably feel better.
I know it would be hard for you because you've lived with your dad all this time, but at the same time, you don't want to be living in that hostile environment. So I think it would be good for you.
What's going to happen when I go away? Would you go away with me?
I will. I already told you I support you 100% when you start school. I'll move it with you.
Thank you.
That's great. So it sounds like you guys have kind of come to a plan to move forward. So far today we've gone over the trauma, the symptoms that you've both been experiencing, so the anger and the guilt that you've been feeling. And then we've had a chance to kind of talk about your dad, Jess, and some of the cultural issues that are going on and some of the conflicts between both of you. And then we've decided on a plan for after you get discharged, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Jess go and move in with Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, great, I think that sounds like a good plan. I'll go ahead and make sure that I get you those referrals and those resources that we were talking about throughout the session. And I just want to take the time to let you know, I really appreciate your honesty and your openness, you're willing to communicate with each other. And, I can tell you guys have a very strong, loving relationship. And so I just want to encourage you to kind of seek and follow through with those referrals, and so you can really start getting life back to normal for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It was really nice to meet you, and I'll be around if you need anything else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.